Morning. No, that was just a two-step. It's a dance that we do in Alex. So it's just to kind of say to you that we've arrived. Before I do anything, I think a round of applause to the organizers for last night's event. And I think it really was spectacular. To Chief, I think there was a lot of sizzle and a lot of steak. Thank you very much. I'm going to deviate a little bit from my speech just for 2 seconds, because when we played the anthem, it just occurred to me that we stand here behind the flag. That flag is an important flag for this republic. And I just want, in everything that we do, in everything that we say, just to remember that we represent that flag and that anthem. So, with that, I'm also going to stand on the protocols that have been observed. Sis Nozi, thank you very much for that. But just to also extend a warm word of welcome to Minister Delil, to Minister Schreiber, who is on his way. He'll be with us any minute now. To Khoshi Pilani, a father to us and the landowner where we are. Raitu Melara, thank you for joining us. And just to say that for all those MECs, chairs of and CEOs of our provincial tourism associations who are here with us, you are more than welcome. And ladies and gentlemen, we just want to thank you for taking the time to be with us in this conference. With that said, allow me to say again, all protocol observed. And it really is indeed a pleasure for me to welcome you to Sun City for the TBCSA Tourism Leadership Conference of 2025. We gather this year under the theme, Matters of Tourism, Growth, People, and Policy. Former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon once said, tourism is not just about economic growth. It is about building peace and understanding in a divided world. That reminder could not be more relevant today, ladies and gentlemen, as we reflect on the role of tourism in the shaping of South Africa's future. It is also important that we note that we meet at a very challenging time for our sector, where we are faced with great difficulties and great challenges. Challenges that none of us expected to be dealing with as we sit here this morning. Challenges that have pitted us one against the other. Challenges that come from the fact that all of us in this room are committed and passionate about this sector. These challenges have reminded me personally that we all want what is best for this sector and this country. But we may have different paths in getting to where we want to get to. It is therefore, for me, very important that at a time such as this, we really stop and reflect. And I'm reminded of the words of Nelson Mandela when he said, I open quote, "Peace is not the absence of conflict, but the creation of an environment where all can flourish." And the quote goes on, but I will close quote there. We are going through a time when we should take the next day or two to reflect on what kind of environment we need at this time to flourish. I just forgot that I'm half blind. So I'm realizing that something is not looking right here. So, Bra Opa, this is in honor of you. We are going through a time when we should just take the next day or two to reflect on what environment we need at this time for this sector to flourish, and what it will take for us to be intentional in our collective effort to drive this country forward. Our people are hungry. Our young people, even around these villages that surround this beautiful venue where we are today, remain unemployed and are struggling to make ends meet, and have even gone to the extent of resorting to criminal activities. This happens in a country bequeathed with breathtaking beauty and a captivating history and heritage. This very point should be what rallies us around our theme this year. This chosen theme, Growth, People and Policy, resonates with us because it reflects the real forces shaping our sector. Growth is about rebuilding momentum after years of disruption and positioning South Africa completely on the global stage. People remind us that tourism is powered by the passion and creativity of workers, entrepreneurs, travelers, and so on. Policy underscores the importance of alignment between government, business, and communities to create the conditions in which tourism can flourish. And dare I say, we are not short of good policy in this country. But these three priorities cannot stand alone. Growth without people is unsustainable. People without policy are disempowered. Policy without concerted action risks being little more than words on paper. Only when these elements move together like the gears of one engine can tourism reach its full potential as a driver of South Africa's prosperity. In this room today are the very levers that drive this sector, and it's our time to make sure that we rise above our differences to address and make sure that the engine runs and it runs smoothly. Ladies and gentlemen, tourism no longer resides on the sidelines of our national development. It is central to inclusive growth, to job creation, to global competitiveness. In 2024, our sector contributed 618.7 billion to the economy, supporting 1.8 million jobs. This year, that number is expected to rise to 1.9 million. And with the right enabling environment, including infrastructure, smarter visas, investment in skills, and aligned policy, tourism could contribute over 900 billion to the GDP and support 2.6 million jobs by 2035, and that is achievable. We gather here at a pivotal moment. In November this year, South Africa will host the G20 summit. Already we have felt the ripple effect with packed conference venues, busy hotels, and renewed attention in our country. This is our moment to show the world that South Africa is not just a beautiful destination. It is in fact a global leader in tourism. At the heart of this sector lies entrepreneurs who are creating jobs, doing little things that are exciting. Minister, allow me to take 1 or 2 minutes and celebrate a few of those, in fact, to be precise, 3 outstanding youth-led initiatives that TBCSA is very proud to share with us. I'm going to share about an organization called Friendship Reunion Camp. It was founded by a gentleman called Tato Piri from the Northwest, where we are. This organization is transforming camping into a lifestyle movement that blends music, wellness, culture, while creating jobs and supporting small businesses. If Tato is around, can we just acknowledge him in the room, please? I can't see. And then there's Ate Aroma, which is led by Andulela Suka from Gauteng. And this organization is more than a coffee shop. It is a training hub for the next generation of tourism and hospitality professionals. Can I just get Andu to rise so we can just acknowledge you? I think she's at the back there, is that? There you go. I can see that far, can you believe it? And then there's an organization called Culture Code, which is co-founded by Tsepo Motsabeko, which is giving travelers authentic township experiences while building visibility and income for young artists and creatives. Is Ndate Tsepo around? There's Tsepo. Thank you, Tsepo. I am especially pleased to say that these 3 young business leaders are here in the room with us today. Their participation has been fully sponsored by the TBCSA to expose them to you, the wider tourism industry. and to open doors for collaboration, learning, and growth. And I really would like to challenge you to interact with these young people, share ideas with them, and where you can, give them some business. These stories remind us why tourism matters. It matters because it creates work, it creates dignity, and it creates purpose. It connects communities across borders, and it empowers young South Africans to lead from the front. Small and medium enterprises are also at the heart of this year's conference. Tomorrow, we will dedicate an entire day to this important segment of this industry. SMEs are the backbone of tourism. They are the B&Bs, the tour operators, the transport providers, the innovators who move our industry forward, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's session. Our sessions will focus on practical issues that matter most: access to funding, better ways to market these businesses, the building and the support systems that allow them not just to survive, but to scale up. By empowering our SMEs, we empower communities, we create jobs, and unlock the full potential of tourism to drive inclusive growth. It always gives us great pride that during this gathering, we can bring together the private sector with our colleagues in the public sector. This partnership is key. It is only through genuine collaboration between business and governments that we can create tailored policy, suitable conditions, and opportunities that allow us to thrive. Later this morning, you will hear from our CEO, Chief. He will reflect on the successes of last year's conference and the impact of the work we have done together. Each year, we commit that this gathering will not be a talk shop, but a platform that delivers real, actionable outcomes for the sector. Over the course of the conference, our conversations will focus on turning ideas into action. We will look at how to attract investment, connect more people and places, build resilience, equip our workforce with future-ready skills, and design policies that open the doors to innovation and inclusion, and this requires us to stand united. Let us approach this theme not only as a topic for discussion, but as a shared responsibility. When growth, people, and policy are aligned, we unlock an industry that delivers jobs at scale, strengthens communities, and positions South Africa as a leader in global tourism. As I draw to a close, it would be remiss of me not to note the legal processes that surround the SAT board dissolution. It is important also to know that while all of these things are happening, the work should proceed. It is important to note that South Africa remains open for business, and our job is to keep visitors coming into the country and making them experience the warm South African hospitality. We will continue to find ways of working together, and we will also find ways of resolving these issues. But the more important thing is that as TBCSA, we will continue to work together with South African tourism to ensure that we deliver a great product as we are called to do. From a TOMSA and TBCSA point of view, these organizations have their own boards. These boards deliberate on matters, and these boards will make decisions, and at the appropriate times, they will make the necessary announcement on the outcomes of these deliberations. Furthermore, the application of the levy that is collected by TOMSA on behalf of this sector will always be applied in partnership with South African tourism, and there should be no ambiguity about that. It cannot be done by one party or the other. It's a collaboration, and it has always been that. There is in place an MOA that governs that relationship, and that MOA is one that actually will kind of give us guidance on how we work together to take this process forward. On behalf of Tourism Business Council of South Africa, I just want to take this time to thank our speakers, to thank you as our delegates, to thank our sponsors for your generous partnership and for your belief in this mission, and to the TBCSA team and all the service providers working behind the scenes, we just want to say thank you, and we welcome you to this conference. Thank you very much.